original pilot, aka Ross Mulligeta Sewa. Adiva! Hot girl diva, a diva. Some girl a skittle tough like a cleaver. No man no want them, tell them to leave ya. A diva! Run boy, hot girl diva, a diva. Some girl a skittle tough like a cleaver. No man no want them, tell them to leave ya. A diva! Run boy, diva, a diamond, hot girl them a goal. Always feel like them in control. Any man we tackle them, end up in a them hole. That simple mean them story and skittle them a brass, tell them kiss me round. Run a my place, none of them can pass. In a girl business, a them come last. Pilot! You are the boss. Hot girl diva, a diva. Some girl a skittle tough like a cleaver. No man no want them, tell them to leave ya. A diva! Run boy, hot girl diva, a diva. Some girl a skittle tough like a cleaver. No man no want them, tell them to leave ya. A diva! Run boy, diva, when them house, hot girl pay them rent. Scattle! They rob a red sin. They end up homeless, thief clothes over fence. Sell out them soul just to drive in a bed. Diva girl now in a shop, them pay with cars. Diva girl in a A1 class.
Yo, what's going on, man? What is going on? Yeah, I just... Woo! This one's a heater, man. This one's a heater, but I think I figured it out. I think I figured it out. Now, I want to break down both sports because I played hockey growing up. I didn't play basketball. I'm black. I played hockey. Love hockey. Went to see the Bruins practice yesterday, and hockey's just the best sport to watch live. And I think that two things could be right at the same time when it comes to PK Subban and we go to LeBron James and the NBA All-Star game. But what we're not going to do is get stuck on the hamster wheel. We're not going to do that. That's what we're not going to do on my rant today. Yo, what's going on, Coca? Long time I don't see you, Coca, man. Verdance is about to drop. We get back on Verdance, Coca. Let's run it, baby. Run it back. T-Max hit me up yesterday. He said he wants to run it back on Verdance. So let's squad up, baby. Let's squad up. Let's do it. Tati Rama, love you. What's going on? Yo, we about to go. Good afternoon, my love. Tati Rama is beautiful. So beautiful. Don't forget, new Bobby Shakes merch. Go to Shakes is live. Also, go to miltandcookies.com to get your exotic snacks, promo code Bobby Shakes. All right, let's just break this down. Hockey was invented by black people. If you look at PK Subban, my issue is, as a Jamaican born in England coming to America, I don't really understand racism. And people, I mean, that may sound crazy, but if a white person says to me, go back to your fucking country, I am gladly would like to go back to my country, right? I have a country I could go to. Where if a white person says that to a black American who's born here, that's craziness. Like, where is he going to go? What country can that black person go to? Right? He's born here. The white person that's saying that, 10 times out of 10 is not even from this country. They're probably Irish American, Polish American, Russian American, Italian American. So they can always go back to their country. But a black American has nowhere to go. They've been here. As a matter of fact, this is their country more than anybody else. But let's break down hockey NBA mentality, right? PK Subban is a Jamaican, two-parent household. His dad was a hockey historian. Okay, hockey was invented by black people, was stolen. The NHL was stolen from black people. Started in Canada. Black people were playing hockey, and it was rough, violent, and fast and quick. White people didn't like that form of hockey. Black people, we fought, checked hard, stick checked hard, fast, quick, crazy, where white people, the white Canadians, saw this sport and they made it softer because they didn't believe, because they thought the black people were barbarians. So white people stole hockey from black people, made the sport more elegant, and then they noticed that nobody was watching that league because people want to see fast skating, hard slap shots. Black people invented the slap shot. Hard slap shots, wrist shots, checking, fighting. That was a bigger draw. So then the white people implement that into their game, which is now the NHL today. Basketball and hockey now is dominated by white people. Okay. Basketball, created by white people, is now dominated by black people. Reggae, which is a music that comes from Ireland, comes from ska, is an Irish art form, but is now dominated, but was dominated by Jamaicans, right? And you got Soulja, you got Hawaii, you got Japanese reggae. Reggae is something that's all over the place. Hip hop was created by a Jamaican, but it's now dominated by Black Americans. So things, when you look at something up front, it isn't what it seems to be. Rock and roll was created by black people. Now it's dominated by white people. But rock and roll is black music. Okay? Slaves used to turn the slave house into a guitar. They'll put strings on the side of the slave house and use the slave house as a guitar. Rock and roll was stolen from black people and given to white people. Big Mama Thornton wrote a lot of hit songs that Elvis Presley got credit for. Led Zeppelin, Rolling Stones, that is stolen black music. But what you see now is usually not what it is, and you have to understand the history of that. PK Subban, when he puts on his hockey uniform and steps on that ice, he's playing for his Canadian black ancestors. His dad is a hockey historian. So when they step on the ice, they're playing for heritage. They know the true history of that sport. Even though they're not respected in it, they're paying homage to those that came before them. As opposed to the NBA, where LeBron James is not playing for nothing. KD isn't playing for nothing. There is no heritage. There is no history. This is not their game. And if you look, and we're not going to get too deep into the weeds here, but when you look on how the black NBA player is treated, they may feel that they're not a part of the sport as they should be. The whole thing with Kyrie, the whole thing with LeBron James, the whole thing with my man in Boston, Jaylen Brown, the way he's treated and how he's snubbed, or how he feels he was snubbed, or how he feels that there's a conspiracy theory not to see him shine, and how other black Uncle Toms in the NBA don't really fuck with Jaylen Brown. So a lot of NBA players, it's a 9 to 5 for them. They're not fighting for anything that means deeper than that. They're just an employee of the NBA. And the NBA doesn't really treat these guys with the respect that they should be treated with, because they're the face of the NBA. And unlike hockey and unlike football, unlike any sport, team sport in the world, one or two athletes could make you dominant. You can't have one or two athletes in football and be dominant. You can't have one or two athletes in hockey and be dominant. There's three lines, which is 15 people. So if you have a dominant forward or a dominant winger, 9 times out of 10, he's not going to be on the floor for 3 periods every minute. They shift. First line comes on, they play 2 minutes, then they substitute on the fly. And players are always coming in and out because you need fresh legs, because you're going end to end. Whereas basketball players, some of them play the full game, may sit out maybe 2 or 3 minutes, but play. John Powers, what's going on, baby? So NBA players play more. And it is end to end, just like hockey, and there's no substitute on the fly. So the sports are different. I wouldn't say that the NBA players now are softer than the NBA players in the past. That's crazy talk, because back in the day, Larry Bird farmed in the offseason. That's why he blew his back out. These guys are multi-billion-dollar assets. So you have to treat them with white gloves. They're worth a lot of money. Like LeBron James is the face of the NBA. We can't have him hurt. We need him. Yeah, he doesn't show for the All-Star game, but we still got another half a season to play. And we got to sell tickets. So it's different. The sports are different. The layout is different. The sport's different. And I get what Pecan Subban is saying, PK is saying, but PK's a Jamaican. Jamaicans are just cut differently from Black Americans. Jamaicans are just unruly motherfuckers. I mean, I'm just... Jamaicans just don't give a fuck. And when you grow up in a Jamaican household, you're taught no fuckery. Jamaican household is a different beast. So when PK Subban's suiting up, he knows that hockey was invented by Black people. He knows that he's playing for all the Black people that invented that sport from Canada. So when he steps on the ice, he's representing heritage. He's representing culture. He's representing being Black and having your sport torn from you. Whereas basketball players are not really on that because they don't get, that's not their sport. These guys, they're not, I don't think that they're soft, but NBA players have to be soft. They have to be because they're tied. See, you can't keep up fucking in a Jamaican household or you're going to get some fucking licks. It's true. So when PK Subban growing up, right? So he's playing hockey in Canada and they're calling him nigga. And after the second period, he says he goes into the locker room and he says he's quitting. And the coach calls Mama Subban, who's from Montserrat. So it's a Caribbean household. And his mom go in the locker room and is like, yo, listen, bro, we're not into that. You are from the Caribbean. You're here to conquer. And if you're not, and if you're not gonna play hockey, it's because of you. It's not because of some white people calling you nigga. And then when he went home, his Jamaican dad validated that. No Jamaican parent want you to come home and say you're not gonna do it because of racism. Are you fucking crazy? But when you look at Black Americans on the whole and the fight that's been going on in this country, Black Americans don't feel that they have equity in this country, even though they built this shit. So you got to understand two things. You got to understand Black Americans and you got to understand the Caribbean. What I don't like is how white media is pitting Black people against each other without explaining what I'm saying now. So now on the media, which a lot of white people just uneducated as fuck, they think that all Black people are the same. All Black people are the most diverse set of people on the fucking planet. Everybody say, yo, why don't Black people get along? Because we're different. We're different. Jamaicans, Haitians, Montserrat, Grenada, we're all from the Caribbean. Haiti, we're all from the Caribbean. Yes, we're all a Black. Cuban, yes. Dominican, Black, we're all Black. But we have completely different cultures and family structure from the other one. Trinidad, Tobago, we're just different. Barbados, you could be here all day. St. Thomas, Kitts, U.S. Virgin Islands, Brazil, a lot of Black people in Brazil. We're different. And then when you go to Africa, forget about it. Ethiopians. So you can't tell Jamaica, you can't tell friends that be, especially knowing what they went through. To have a place. See? PK Subban is brought up in a different household than LeBron James. LeBron James is single parent household. A lot of these Black Americans, single parent household, they're taught that all of them would come from slavery and the white man is their master and they need DEI and they need affirmative action to be accepted. So all of that shit is fucking with your mental. It's just breaking you down. Like white people just breaking niggas down. I worked at Boston University. And most of the Black doctors were in a special affirmative action program. A lot of the Caribbean doctors and African doctors took the test, passed, and got their place. That doesn't say the Caribbeans and the Africans are smarter than the Black Americans. Is that our educational structure in our countries is no joke. Like in Jamaica, my dad used to say, yo, listen, if you're not going to make it in school, you're not going. The school is expensive. A lot of Black countries, there's no public education. If you don't want to go to school, then you better learn how to farm. You better learn how to do something, because we're not wasting no time. So the few Blacks from all around the world, they're able to place and score because education is very important. Education in Jamaica is important. A lot of people think that Jamaica is smoking weed and dreads. Absolutely fucking not. I hate to say that to you. That's the worst stereotype ever for Jamaica. There's some Jamaicans that don't even speak patois. They have a Jamaican accent and dialect, but they don't speak patois. They don't sound like Cartel or Idonia. A lot of Jamaicans don't fuck with that. So our educational system is higher. The educational system for Black Americans in America is horrible. So they're not even given the right structure. It's crazy. So there's a big difference between NHL and hockey. Black hockey players is playing for their heritage. Heritage. So that's why he's so passionate. As opposed to Black Americans that don't feel like, like playing 40 minutes a night. Yeah, I'm tired. And then now the hypocrisy of the media is that NBA players are not hungry. They don't grind. They're not winners. How the fuck are you going to be a winner if you get injured in a fucking all-star game when I got a rest of a half a season to play? I'm trying to win. I'm trying to become a champion. I'm trying to get 6 rings. I'm trying to get 7 rings so I can be better than Michael Jordan. I ain't got time for an all-star game because that's the burden you've put on the Black athlete in that sport. So I don't know. I think everybody's going to have to pick and choose what they want. You just want to see athletes play at the highest level and never mind the ring talk? Because society always put this cap on. This society always put a glass ceiling when it comes to Black people. You're a Black basketball player. You're never going to be better than Michael Jordan unless you win 6 rings. There's a lot of Black basketball players that contributed more to the NBA than Michael Jordan did. But they're losers because they don't have 6 rings. That's crazy. So do you want basketball players to have 6 rings, 7 rings, or do you want them to play hard every day? And then when we go to this ring shit and people talk about rings and Michael Jordan being the greatest, Michael Jordan, how come if rings is your conversation, right? If rings is your conversation, Bill Russell got 13 of them shits. Bill Russell is the greatest basketball player ever. He has the most rings. He has rings as a coach. He has rings as a player coach. He has rings as a player. He has rings as a janitor. He has rings as the ball boy. He has rings, Parky. He was the valet dude. You pull up to the Boston Garden, Bill Russell is valeting all the cars, and then he runs upstairs, drops 30 on your head, run back downstairs. I mean, Bill Russell was the whole organization. There's never been an athlete that could do what Bill Russell did, but Bill Russell's not in the conversation like Jordan is. So Jordan and Kobe is not even the threshold for greatness in the NBA. Jordan needs another 7 rings to talk to Bill Russell. And at the end of the season, they hand out a Bill Russell award. They don't hand out no LeBron James or the MJ award. So I think we have to start to pick what we want. And you can't pit black people against each other. 2 different sports, 2 different mindsets, 2 different countries. And I get what PK is saying. On the flip side, I get it. Like, yo, as black athletes, we have to do harder. We have to play harder. We have to sacrifice more. We have to do twice as much as white athletes to get the respect. So I get it. So if you're a black athlete and you're laying an egg, your scrutiny is going to be crazy. And because you're in the public eye, and because you are a $1 billion entity, because you're tied to so many brands, that yes, you do have to play every single game, all-star break, dunk contest, and you have to kill yourself and you have to leave it on the court. So 2 things could be right at the same time. I just want to, because my friend called me last night. Just gonna see, Google's listening to me. As soon as I wrote who, there's a lot of, let me see here. See right here. Hold on a second. Give me a second here. Let me see here. Give me a second here. Just wanna, and y'all gotta go and do your own research on this shit. So here we go. And this is hockey. This is it. So PK Subban is representing these brothers right here. That's who he's representing. So he has a lot more. He has a lot more passion because he knows what he's representing. In basketball, you have broken down the unity of black players. Jordan's better than MJ, Pippen is better than this and that and that and that and that and that. So there's a lot of infighting. And there's a lot of purpose, structural sabotage. I don't know what that gets out of it. Where we just have black athletes pitting against black athletes, especially in the NBA. I just wanted to come on and say that because that's been the talk. And I truly believe that two things are right. Pecan, Subban, PK is right and he's wrong. LeBron James and the NBA and Kevin Durant, they're right. He's right and he's also wrong. Two things could be wrong at once. I mean, it's life. They say the best way to understand life is to contradict yourself. Yeah, tonight. Oh, I just wanna say before I leave here, just wanna thank everybody that came out last night to Toya Red's 4th annual Biden Classy event. Trickstar, I'm a liar. I'm a huge liar. I was gonna sleep outside K's in my whip. I was gonna do that, but I decided to come home and bed. So I'll have fresh pair of underarms for gal pool tonight. Fresh pair of underarms for gal pool tonight. I was gonna sleep outside K's lounge last night, but no, I had to come home, take a bath. So see y'all tonight, gal pool. K's lounge, 1125 Blue Ave, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Real time, Bobby Shakes, Trickstar, Sound International, Soundscape, music by Dynamite Sounds, and King Terror's in the busy. It's going to be a good time. 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 Thank you so much. Just have to get that off my chest, right? And we want to get off this hamster wheel, man. We got to get off that hamster wheel, folks. Like real talk. We have to get off the hamster wheel. Because we just run around in circles. All right. Here's my theme song. See y'all tonight.
Original pilot, aka Rasmuligeta Sewa. Adiva!